Good evening, it's Kuro. Got a tier 10 game in my Zao, going over the matchmaking threats to my ship, obviously the Richthofen, all the battleships, the cruisers, Hindenburg, Venezia, Yoshino. The Nevsky can be interesting, um, depending on how it's played. I haven't really got to fight too many in my Zao to see how they kind of match up. Um, so First thing that I notice, I'm basically on a light flank here, just Shimakaze, a Kremlin, and myself. It's telling me that, we obviously we don't have any radar here, and that we're going to need to kind of play this pretty chill, just in case the enemy team decides to push in through here and force, or the enemy CV starts trying to focus this flank. We don't want to get too deep initially. The other thing, since there's only 3 DDs in the match, it tells me that if I lose my Shimakaze, I might have to do quite a bit of spotting. So what I'm looking to do here is I'm looking to push up here and support my Shimakaze, and what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to use this terrain to my advantage. I don't want to be shot by, you see this cluster of battleships here. I want to keep these islands, all 3 of these islands, between me and these guys. Yes, there is probably a battleship here, but I can angle to one battleship. Uh, these guys, it starts to complicate the situation. So the Shimakaze smoked for me, so I'm gonna chill out here in my smoke. Here shortly I'll press hydro. I just want to make sure that I'm going to be torpedo safe. And I'm just going to start going to work on targets. See, enemy gearing is engaging my Shimakaze, and this gearing's taken quite a bit of damage. I do get a couple hits on this gearing. I see the torps coming through, so I'm going to start bailing on this. Now I'm worried about my Shimakaze because he's still pushing up here pretty aggressive. We don't really know fully what's back in here yet. So I personally, I think that this is playing a little aggressive. I am going to try to support him by turning in here, since it's looking like the battleships aren't really clearing these islands yet. I might get a chance to get a crack at this gearing, and here we go. Nope, he drops off. Gonna throw some torpedoes in here. I see that the Kurfürst is turning to kite out, so rather than throw torps back in here, I throw them through here. Maybe I catch the Marceau if he starts to head this way. I do get detected, so by the planes, I'm just gonna start opening fire as I kite away. And I mean, you can see how aggressive my Shimakaze is playing. I can't be in there, and he ends up getting nuked by the Richthofen. And I mean, he's inside the radar range of the Nevsky. You got a Kremlin that can shoot him, a Kurfürst. I mean, you just can't do that. So rather than throw my ship away, I know that I can't get in there. So I'm just going to play chill. I'm now effectively the destroyer on this flank for my team. And I do have some support, but it's looking like some of it is pulling out. So I want to, basically be a little cautious. Try to use my HP as effectively as possible. Taking a perspective shot here. Nevsky's faster than I'm thinking, and all my shots bounce. You get an enemy smoke screen like that combined with an island, and there's a lot, it's a lot of times you can actually make those shots undetected. Yeah, a little frustrated there. Thought I aimed high enough, obviously I didn't. And I know that we've got a push coming with the Kremlin and the Kurfürst, so just biding my time. Last thing I want to do is get detected here and get nuked. So I do get detected by the enemy gearing, and I'm just going to start kiting right here. Since I'm detected, well, I do drop off here momentarily, but I think what's going on is the gearing's trying to smoke into the cap. So I'm just going to use this smoke screen to take some shots against the enemy team. DD players, you can't do this. There's nothing here that can spot this gearing. You know, if he's gonna smoke, he should smoke for his team like that and let them use the smoke and sit out of the smoke and keep us spotted, because I would be in a pickle right here. But instead, he's given me this window of opportunity to kind of make a really aggressive move here, and that is pushing in here. I'm just inside torpedo range, so I'm going to throw this set of torpedoes out on the Kremlin. I know there's a Kurfürst back in here, and I'm looking to see, okay, what's this Kurfürst doing? I might try to line torps up on him. And by hanging out here on the border like this, you notice I'm getting a lot of broadsides here. That's really good for my torpedoes. It's really good for my AP. And I'm just trying to dig in here into the flank and be just a pest for the enemy team. I'm watching the Kurfürst right here. I see him turn out. That tells me he's going behind this island, and I'm just going to lead both my sets of torps tight right around the island, and I'm going to start kiting out. Kremlin's slowing up right into one of my torps, so we're going to get a little bit of damage here. A nice 12k. Now, this was one of those things, I'm not sure where the gearing had went during this time, but he really played super cautious that he's barely in front of that Kremlin right now. And that's just something that, you know, I don't really think that you can do. The CV, actually my CV, I don't think, he doesn't spot the gearing. I think the gearing started shooting. Unfortunately, he slowed up faster than I thought, and he's able to avoid those shots that would have taken him out. My torps are arriving on the Kurfürst. Dev strike him, and I'm just gonna keep kiting back. Gonna keep working on this Kremlin. Now look at some of these render delays in the game. You can actually see the Kremlin just shot his third turret and his second turret. How long it takes before he actually pops up on your screen. This is why I like incoming fire alert on a lot of ships, because you have almost a 2-second delay where you can start dodging before, you know, you even really see the shells, see the ship that shot at you. Now here's a misplay by the enemy Venezia. He smokes up. I instantly drop off. You see, I just slam on the brakes behind this island, and I'm just going to stay here and farm because this Venezia can no longer keep me spotted. And this Kremlin, he's got to push out, and he's basically going to be walking into the jaws of death with my midway focusing him, and he coming around the corner, he'd be looking at the Kremlin and a Kurfürst. I'm throwing some torps out there. What I want to do is prevent this Venezia from kiting out, turning around. I know he's rushing me right now looking at the smoke. I'm loading my AP because if you look, I've got a really nasty crossfire situation between my Kurfürst and my Kremlin. Um, I would probably do more damage if I use HE, but if I use HE, he can angle at the battleships and basically get away with a lot of things. So I'm just using my AP, gonna just hold my fire here. You can see the effect that the torps are having. He can't turn out and start running away. He's basically getting committed. And I just wait till the Venenzia gives me broadside. He's got to give a lot of broadside to fire all of his guns, and that's okay. Venenzia is faster than I'm thinking, so just gonna keep angled to the Venenzia, just tanking, using my HP. If he wants to give me broadside, I'm just gonna keep using AP, and you know, he takes a big hit from me and realizes, oh, I'm gonna have to angle at him. But when he angles at me, he gives the broadside to all the battleships back here, and he ends up getting nuked. This is one of those things that you really have to pay attention to the lines on the map. As soon as you can draw a line between, one ship and another ship, you're starting to enter a crossfire, and that's a no-go zone. You have to wait until you break those lines up before you push it, because chances are, if those players have any sort of decent skill, you're going to get nuked. So, avoided the torpedoes just using my hydro, and from here, just running up to see what kind of damage I can get. Maybe I'd like to get the kill on the Richthofen or anything else. I'm not really interested in ACAP, although in hindsight that would probably net me more XP getting the cap, but I'm really looking to try to get up here and see if I can kill this CV because, hey, death to flat tops. So basically just going to swing right around and take this little channel between the island and the cap. The game is somewhat close, so I don't want to completely just throw. But from what I see with my team versus the enemy team, we really have map control right now. As my team pushes up on this flank, I push up on this flank, and it's getting pushed in the middle. There's going to start to be crossfire all back here, and ships are going to go down pretty quickly. Unfortunately, getting rushed by the Venenzia kind of meant that I had to take myself a little bit out of the fight, and unfortunately this is all damage off the table that I'm not going to be able to get. We do get the Richthofen spotted. I'm just pushing in here where I know that my spotter plane's going to be able to work to get some damage going. In hindsight here, running aground for that volley, definitely not worth it. I should have just kept moving and just used the front guns. Now, one of the things that, if I could go back and redo this, is using more AP on this Richthofen. He's going to be giving me a lot of broadside. And I'm going to be pretty persistent using my HE here. And I think that that's a mistake in hindsight. He's not really going to burn long. So, that HE, a lot of it's going to shatter on his armor. And I'm not really going to get the fire damage. And honestly, he burns so with such short duration that, you know, my initial plan was he's not really spotted. Maybe if I can keep fires on this guy, I can keep him, you know, more visible to myself, to my team, and pick up the kill that way. I'm not really getting fires, and the fires that I do get repaired fairly quickly. So I'm pretty much just ignoring this Nevsky. Now you can see I got a fire there, he's detected, and the fire is already out. So I'm kind of hoping that, you know, one of these volleys coming in will, you know, net another fire and give us the vision we really need to get this, the CV dead. I'd rather kill the CV than the Nevsky. And you can see what I'm talking about here with the broadside. I think that if I would have switched to AP, I think I could have killed this guy pretty easy in probably 2, maybe 3 shots. And instead, I'm just kind of hanging in here, just trying to use HE, and it's not really gonna work here. I'm really being aggressive here, just not really caring. I'm giving a bunch of broadside to the Nevsky. Unfortunately, I lit that guy on fire. I should have probably ignored him entirely to get this this Richthofen kill, because he burns down and ends up costing me a pelt. So the one time that I do get a fire, I don't want the fire. That's just the way RNG works. So all in all, this I felt was a pretty decent Zao game. Really trying to use this, just showcase the ship that it's still a really nasty ambush predator. Um, Particularly in that early game, just kind of hanging out there, setting up my torpedoes, getting in a position where I can just switch to AP and I can just smash cruisers. I can, you know, just hammer things that are showing their broadside to me, and that's really valuable. I know most people talk about Zao um, with the HE, and it's amazing. Don't get me wrong, but that AP it's like a heart attack. It has the ability to remove ships from the map if you know how to aim. And with the legendary module on it, yeah, the legendary module got nerfed a bit, but that accuracy, if you know how to shoot with this ship, which I'm still not where exactly I want to be, um, I mean, you can do disgusting levels of damage with a single volley. You know, 8, 9, 10K with your HE, lighting multiple fires. It's just like, calm down, calm down. Um, and that is the value of a really good Zao player. Uh, Same thing with the AP. Just, you know, 3, 4, 5 Citadel volleys on a broadside cruiser. It's just like you've just ruined that guy's game just in that one shot. So anyway, I'm gonna cut this one off here. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them below. Hope you're having a good night, and I will talk to you later.